From working with so many coaches and business owners, the one thing I realized was I needed a concept in place to help them understand how they could allocate their time correctly so they were delivering amazing service to their clients, but they were also doing the most important things to move their business forward. This is something I saw coaches struggle with so much. They were a chaotic mind, they had a chaotic business, and each day led them to doing the comfortable reactionary work. That's on WhatsApp, getting back to clients, and maybe 10-15 minutes of about to be productive, but guess what? A notification happens and something pulls you in a different direction. I knew if I wanted to create as much impact as possible as a business coach, I needed a framework that coaches could understand and implement into their business. And a lot of people wonder why we get industry leading results with our clients, and this is a huge component of it. It's how we set things up for them initially, how we get them to see the tasks that they do. And I'm going to share it all with you in this video. You'll often hear the concept about the idea of working in your business or working on your business. I want to take that to another level because when it comes to working on your business or in your business, I think it doesn't describe things too well. People are like, okay, I know I need to work on my business, but what do I actually need to do? I'm working too much in my business, and they stay there forever. I want to change that for you because we're going to look at it in a different way. We're going to set our tasks up in 3 different components. So we have money maintenance, we have money now, and then we have money later. So you have money maintenance tasks, which is things that are going to maintain your business. So this is going to be client check-ins, client messages, client calls, anything when it comes to client delivery. It's making sure the maintenance of the business is good. Then we have money now tasks. Money now tasks are anything that's going to generate your business money now. So this is having conversations with leads. This is follow-ups. This is reactivating old clients, upselling current clients, are obviously on sales calls and taking sales calls. So these are money now tasks. And then we have money later tasks. So the money later is in some regard one of the most important things that you actually need to schedule because it's the important work that isn't necessarily urgent. The urgent thing is getting back to your client who's messaged you a few hours ago, they need a change for the weekend with their food plan, whatever it may be. That's something you know you need to get on. Or if you have a check-in or a call scheduled, again, that becomes urgent. There's things in your business that you know will benefit you, but there's no urgency around it being done. Because if it's not done today, if it's not done tomorrow, nothing's going to happen. But you know it's very important, and you know if you did do it, it has a huge knock-on effect of what it could lead to in your business. So some money later examples would be building out an SOP for a new hire in your business. So if you're taking a coach on board, a setter, actually building out something where they know, okay, this is how I actually become an A player in the business and perform to the best of my ability. This comes down to content creation. This comes down to data tracking. What are things to be doing now that is going to help bulletproof your business going forward and actually improve performance and, as a byproduct, revenue of that business? All 3 of these areas are very, very important to spend time on. But it's you knowing what is the bottleneck of your business and what needs more of your time and attention. And understanding that when you're in one of these blocks, you stay in the block. And this is going to be one of the biggest things I tell you on this video. Because let's put it this way. Let's say if you had a money now block and you're like, hey, from 3 to 5 p.m. every day, this is like my money now. And maybe the goal is to be on consultation calls because that's going to be the closest thing you're going to do to be generating money and clients coming on board is having someone on a call. So you want the 3 to 5 p.m. to be filled with calls. Let's say at 3 p.m. someone doesn't show to the call. What have you done the last time someone hasn't showed to one of your calls? I would say you've picked up your phone and you maybe have doom scroll on Instagram. I would say you've gone like, okay, I can just get back to clients during this time and kept essentially drifted away from the money now task. I want your mindset with this to be so relentless that if you're in a money now block and someone doesn't show to the call, you stay in the money now block. So what does that look like? That looks like you pulling up your pipeline and saying, okay, who can I follow up with? Who can I jump in with a voice note for? Is there current clients I can send an offer to? Is there some ex-clients or old leads or someone who hasn't shown up to a call from last week that I need to follow up with or re-engage with? Or is there some warm leads in my conversations, in my DMs that I could jump in and try to get them over a line for a call? This is when you actually take your time seriously of, okay, this is a money now block. Someone hasn't shown to the call, but what am I going to do instead? And this is over time is going to be the difference between someone who grows their business versus someone who stays stuck and doesn't move forward. If your bottleneck is anything around not enough conversations, not enough sales calls, or not enough revenue, money now is going to be your biggest priority task. And so often I've spoken to coaches who have been on a consultation call with me saying that their business is struggling and they're not moving forward, and they have so little money now scheduled in. And why? Because it can feel a bit uncomfortable. You have to put yourself out there. There's a fear of rejection coming in. But if you want to move your business forward, prioritizing that time block and being relentless at executing during it is going to be so important. Now moving on to money later. This is going to be slightly different in terms of bottlenecks that you're feeling. If right now revenue is the biggest focus of yours and you're like, I need to drive as much revenue and clients this month, again, money now is the tasks that are going to be the thing that does that. However, money later are the tasks that are going to compound for you in the future. So a few things I would think about here is if your bottleneck is around attention, or if your bottleneck is around capacity or scaling, then money later tasks are going to be really, really important. Why is this? Because your money later task is a lot of planning and strategizing. So if we think from an attention perspective, it's you sitting down and saying, okay, I need to create content, I need to plan content, I need to study creators that are getting a lot of attention and seeing what's working and how I can put my own unique spin on it and how then I can produce that content and actually publish the content and put it out there. Secondly, we have, if from a capacity or a scaling point of view, of are we putting time into planning ourselves in terms of maybe team members with SOPs, whether it be with your data tracking and seeing what's working in the business and what needs to be improved and what needs to be adjusted. So see the money later tasks as very much the things that are going to make a big, big impact on you in the future that maybe you won't feel today and maybe you won't feel tomorrow, but the people who do implement it will feel it massively over the next few months. The third area I want to speak about is money maintenance. This is where a lot of coaches spend their time, and of course it's essential. Delivering a really good service to your clients, checking in with them correctly, sending them messages when they need, responding to them, getting on calls with them, whatever it may be, of course it's a huge aspect of the business. But the hard truth you need to hear is it's also a very, very comfortable part of the business. If you're sitting down on your desk and you're getting back to clients, it's important, but is it really going to be the thing that moves the needle moving forward? And this doesn't mean that we ignore doing it, but it means that we actually allocate time specifically for that. Because if you're sitting at your desk all day and you're consistently getting back the messages, are you ever going to build the business that you want? What you need to do, like the money later, money now task, is actually allocate time for it specifically. So you know when your clients are checking in, you're going to have a block to do that. Once that block's finished, let's say if you're going to the gym, whatever it may be, when you come back, you have a reply block. So you're like, hey, I'm going to clear replies, let's say for the next 30 minutes. But when that 30 minutes is up and the replies are cleared, you then close that down and you move on to something else. Because there's always going to be someone looking for you. There's always going to be someone to message back. And what you need to understand is no client's message is urgent. They can wait a few hours. It's not a big deal. And it can be the difference between you moving the business forward and actually showing up as a better coach for them. There's loads of times I've been about to switch off at nighttime, get a message from a client, and they could have quite like a in-depth question that they're asking me. And I say to myself, I know I'm going to give this person a much better response in the morning. So I'm not going to reply now. I'm going to reply first thing in the morning and they're going to get a way better version of me. And that's the way I want you seeing it. It's not actually you being selfish of your time. It's you becoming the best version of yourself and giving people that version of you in the way that you communicate with them. Something I find incredibly useful myself is actually not putting all 3 tasks on the one day. So if Monday is a big client check-in day for you, I'm not saying, okay, you need to prioritize money later tasks and money now tasks. I would maybe just say, okay, this is a money maintenance and a money now day. Money later and that side of the business isn't going to come into the equation today. And then let's say on a Thursday, if it's a pretty free day from client delivery, it's a great day to put your money later tasks and saying, okay, today I'm going to have a huge focus on content creation, content planning, etc., etc. And it's trying not to juggle too many hats of going from content creator to planning a strategy to being a coach to being a salesperson. If you're constantly like moving between hats, you will kind of dilute your skill level of what you can be and obviously your focus and creativity as well. The one thing I would say to you is having money now blocks in every day is very important. Like that is the lifeblood of your business. That is the thing that's going to give you leverage and going to move you forward. So money now should be a staple in your business and in your schedule each and every day. And money maintenance and money later, depending on your schedule and depending on your days, can come in at different times within that week. If you haven't already yet, I'd recommend watching the last video that I put up, because it'll help you identify the biggest bottleneck that you have right now in your business. But if you have watched it already, that's something you know what the bottleneck is in your business, and now you know how to schedule your days and schedule your week with money now, money maintenance, and money later. So what I want you to do now is, after you watch this video, sit down and look at your upcoming week and plan in accordance to the bottleneck that you have, and prioritizing money later, money now, and money maintenance through the week, so you can cover all three areas, but most importantly, putting the primary focus on the thing you know is going to help you hit your next milestone.